Hello, friends. By 2025, the U.S. cattle herd will be at its lowest level in over 70 years. Yet the beef industry is still expected to supply more meat, more hides, and at lower prices. This contradiction raises a worrying question. When resources are scarce, what is truly sacrificed to maintain the system? Each stop in this video until the end offers deeper insight into the mysteries of the beef industry. We are on a vast ranch in the American Midwest. Miles of pasture stretch toward the horizon. Sensors fitted to collars or ear tags track movement, feeding behavior, and subtle changes that indicate stress or illness. Algorithms analyze patterns and flag anomalies early, sometimes days before visible symptoms appear. In an environment where disease outbreaks like screwworm could cost producers billions of dollars through quarantines, transport disruptions, and herd losses, early detection matters. These systems don't just protect productivity, they also support animal welfare by reducing prolonged stress and untreated illness. And in a year when the national herd is already at historic lows, every saved animal counts. Once cattle leave the ranch, the next challenge begins: movement. Processing facilities are often hundreds of miles away. In 2025, trucking and warehouse labor shortages complicate scheduling, sometimes forcing longer holding times or delayed transport. Temperature control becomes critical. Even short deviations can compromise meat quality before processing ever begins. Inside a beef processing plant, efficiency operates at an industrial scale. In the United States, 4 major companies control roughly 80 to 85% of beef processing capacity. That concentration allows for efficiency, but it also means that small failures can have large consequences. A single equipment malfunction, a brief lapse in sanitation, an inexperienced worker on a critical line, any of these can result in hundreds or thousands of pounds of product being downgraded or discarded. To reduce that risk, facilities increasingly rely on AI-powered camera systems that monitor carcass quality, hygiene compliance, and temperature control in real time. Quality assurance is no longer a single checkpoint. It's layered, continuous, and data-driven. And then there's the hide. Once treated as a secondary output, cattle hides are now economically essential. They feed a global leather market supplying footwear, automotive interiors, and fashion goods. But traditional tanning processes are chemically intensive and water-heavy. If mismanaged, they create serious environmental harm. That's why many processors are shifting to eco-friendly tanning technologies, methods that can reduce chemical use and wastewater by up to 40 to 50%, while still producing durable, high-quality leather. What was once waste becomes valuable if managed responsibly. Even after processing, risk doesn't disappear. Packaging, cold storage, and distribution must operate as one system. A single delay or failure can undo months of work upstream. By 2025, consumers expect more than freshness. They expect traceability, safety, sustainability, and consistency. Smart packaging extends shelf life. Inventory systems speed distribution. At the final stage, chefs still inspect each cut, knowing quality is earned, not assumed. Meanwhile, nothing is wasted. Bones, fats, and hides move into new supply chains, improving efficiency and reducing environmental impact. Every meal reaches the table only because countless systems worked correctly, quietly, and out of sight. From sensors in pastures to AI on processing lines to cleaner tanning that turns hides into durable goods, this industry is adapting under constant pressure. End of preface to preface. The true history of the American past. This is the real story behind your steak and your leather. Not perfection, but resilience. And as climate risk and supply constraints grow, the question isn't whether the system can continue, but how responsibly and sustainably it chooses to evolve.
Have you ever wondered how the beef in your steak or fur reaches your plate from a high-tech farm? Follow Farmer Jane in Kansas to see how America's massive cattle industry uses AI and drones for efficient beef harvesting. This documentary reveals the journey from ranches to stores, ensuring safe, affordable meat. America's beef industry produces 26.42 billion pounds of beef in 2025. Leading the world with 94.2 million cattle, including 28.7 million beef cows. Farms in Kansas and Nebraska use wearable ear tags to track cattle health via smartphones. Breeds like Angus and Hereford are selected for high-quality meat through genetic programs. Farmer Jane manages 5,000 cattle in Kansas, using these tools to ensure quality before harvesting. Modern farming methods combine technology with efficiency. Precision grazing and hybrid systems let cattle roam pastures, while GPS collars and virtual fencing like the cattle log system track movements. Cattle log uses drones to map grazing areas, aiding sustainable harvest planning and cutting greenhouse gas emissions by 15%. These methods reduce waste but need costly setups and depend on weather. Skilled teams like Jane's use apps and satellite data to switch between grazing and controlled barns. Especially during Midwest winters, lowering costs and improving welfare for better harvest outcomes. Feedlot systems house cattle in climate-controlled barns with robotic feeders delivering corn and soy mixes. Sensors monitor weight to prepare cattle for harvesting, ensuring uniform quality. These operations, common in Kansas, invest in robots and methane reduction systems, cutting emissions by 15% to meet environmental rules. Jane's farm uses feedlots to speed growth before harvesting, balancing efficiency and care. Daily care relies on technology to keep cattle healthy. Robots dispense custom feeds and RFID tags track intake. Jane checks her app each morning to monitor her cattle's health. Cattle drink 100 to 190 litres of water daily from systems testing purity. AI cameras and ear tags detect illnesses early, reducing labour by 20 to 35%. Cleanup bots remove waste, preventing diseases and ensuring cattle are ready for harvesting. These tools help farmers like Jane focus on quality at harvest time. Harvesting occurs at modern plants like Cargill's in Kansas, following USDA humane standards. Cattle are stunned with bolt systems to prevent pain. Robotic arms separate hides, organs, and meat on conveyor lines. Scanners check quality, and machines cut beef to precise sizes. UV lights sterilize meat, and rapid chilling preserves freshness. Plants track emissions during harvesting, supporting sustainability. Blockchain logs each step from farm to harvest in a digital ledger, ensuring traceability. Once harvested, beef enters a high-tech supply chain. Smart refrigerated trucks with GPS and temperature sensors maintain freshness. At centres for Walmart or Costco, staff test beef for bacteria to meet FDA safety standards, ensuring it's safe for consumers. Blockchain verifies origins from Jane's farm through harvesting to shelves, keeping prices stable for buyers. US beef exports to Vietnam, a top market with 10% growth since 2024, supply dishes like pho, unlike Australia's open range focus. Electric trucks cut emissions post-harvest, addressing environmental concerns while delivering quality meat. America's beef industry blends technology, scale, and care to deliver safe, sustainable meat. From Jane's high-tech ranch to efficient harvesting and delivery, it feeds millions while tackling environmental challenges. What's your favourite US beef dish, steak, burger, or pho? Share in the comments, subscribe, and hit the bell for more food production insights. Farmers like Jane work hard to bring safe beef to your table.
The automatic cow weighing system has a rich history rooted in the need for precision and efficiency in livestock management. Initially developed in the early 20th century, it was designed to streamline the process of monitoring cow weight without the need for manual labor. The system uses sensors and scales integrated into a cow's passageway.
Hello, friend. $500 0 cents for 1 pound of beef? That's olive wagyu, 60% pricier than A5 wagyu and enough to buy a top-tier grill. This melt-in-your-mouth steak comes from full-blood wagyu-fed 2 tons of dried olive pomace, yes, the oily trash from olive oil presses, over 30 months. All 2,500 cows live on one tiny Japanese island smaller than Staten Island. One drying shed runs $300,000, 0 cents. So how did olive garbage become the world's most expensive steak? Let's dig in. Olive Wagyu isn't just dinner, it's the crown jewel of luxury steakhouses from Tokyo to Manhattan. Chefs slice it paper thin, sear it for 10 seconds, and watch it melt at room temperature. Customers pay $150, 0 cents for 3 ounces, and still clap. But every ounce starts on Shodoshima, a 60 square mile dot in Japan's inland sea. We make maybe 2,500 cows a year, says Masaki Ishii, the farmer who started it all. With global demand booking tables 6 months out, $500, 0 cents a pound starts to look like a bargain. So what's driving the price tag? First, the feed is recycled garbage and expensive garbage. Walk into an olive oil mill on Shoroshima and you'll see wet, oily pomace, stacked like wet cement. Most farms burn it or dump it. The pomace is 60% water and spoils in hours. He spent 6 years building a low-heat drying tunnel that pulls moisture without torching the oil. One bad run ruins a month of work. Today, each cow downs 2 tons of dried pomace, roughly $36,000, 0 cents in feed alone. That's more than the average American spends on groceries in 5 years. Next, the cows lived like retirees. Standard Wagyu ships at 24 to 26 months. Olive Wagyu lounges until month 30. Those extra 4 months pack in fat so fine it looks photoshopped. Lab tests clock oleic acid at 65%, 30% higher than regular A5, which sits around 50%. US prime beef, by comparison, barely hits 38%. Translation: the steak melts at 77 DGF, 4 degrees below body temperature, while standard A5 needs 86 DGF, and US prime doesn't truly melt until 95 DGF. You don't chew, you blink and it's gone. The longer timeline doubles barn costs, triples labor, and ties up space 6 farms can't spare. One cow's 30-month vacation costs more than a Tesla Model 3. Then came the disasters that turned a secret into a brand. Ishii kept his pomace recipe under wraps for years. The buyers just knew the beef tasted nuts. Then 2010 struck. Foot and mouth disease ripped through Miyazaki, Japan's Wagyu capital. the US banned all Japanese beef. A year later, the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami flattened ports. With exports down, Ishii went public. By 2012, Shidoshima had a new cash crop. In 2013, the first olive wagyu hit Tokyo. A 3-star Michelin chef paid $120, 0 cents an ounce on the spot. Word spreads faster than the marbling melts. Supply never caught up. 6 licensed farms, 20 cows per farm, total 2,500 head a year. After trimming, grading and export cuts, maybe 800,000 pounds reached the market. That's less beef than one Texas feedlot ships in a week. Meanwhile, waiting lists stretch 6 months. A single Los Angeles steakhouse gets 12 portions a month. They vanish at $150, 0 cents for 3 ounces. At a 2024 Tokyo charity auction, one loin sold for $1,200, 0 cents a pound. The buyer ate it raw with chopsticks. Supply-demand math doesn't lie. Let's stack the prices side by side. US prime runs about $35, 0 cents a pound. Regular Japanese A5 jumps to $200, 0 cents. Certified Kobe pushes $350, 0 cents. Olive Wagyu starts at $500, 0 cents and climbs to $770, 0 cents on a normal day. That $500, 0 cents floor is just the starting bid. And shipping from a remote island, customs paperwork and temperature-controlled crates, and the final tab climbs fast. One 40-foot refrigerated container can hit $200,000. 0 cents landed in New York. That's a down payment on a house for beef. Back on the island, the process is equal parts brutal and beautiful. Workers massage calves, play Mozart and shovel pomace twice a day. Drone shots show 2,500 black cows dotting green hills. Fewer animals than one Kagoshima ranch ship in a month. Every carcass is graded by hand. Only the top 60% make the cut. The rest ground into $50, 0 cents burgers nobody advertises. Will Olive Wagyu stay the world's priciest beef, or will copycats flood the market? Tell us in the comments, would you drop $500, 0 cents, on a pound of melting cow? What's the most you've ever paid for a single bite? Subscribe for more wild stories about why your favorite foods cost a fortune.